Welcome back. Today we're talking about a super fun topic, body image. Specifically, when you have a bad body image, when you're having negative self-talk, it could really ruin your day, sometimes even ruin your life depending on how severe it is and how it impacts your life. And it's definitely something that isn't healthy. So how do you go about healing your body image effectively? Now, here's the thing that I see a lot of people doing, and maybe you're doing this in trying to heal your body image, where you have a negative thought like, oh, I hate my body, or it's so ugly, or whatever negative thought you're having about your body, and you try to reframe it with, my body is good, I am worthy. Now, don't get me wrong, affirmations are great, but that's not going to be enough to actually heal your body image, because you have to first understand why you hate your body to begin with and really do that inner, deeper work to do the healing at its core root. And affirmations without understanding that first is kind of like putting a Band-Aid on a wound without knowing where the cut is, where the blood is coming from. It's like, oh, let me just slap on a Band-Aid, everything's going to be okay. But no, in order for that wound to heal, you have to clear out the mess. You have to clean it out, maybe put some alcohol, even though it might sting. Body image is hard work, but in doing so, you can actually get to the root of where your wound is, heal it, stitch it, clean it, and then bandage it up so that it effectively heals, and you can go about living your life in a way where you feel good in your own skin and not constantly consumed by how you're never going to be good enough because of your body size, and not showing up to life events and really to your life fully because you're so consumed with hating your body and feeling like you're not good enough unless you're this size that you have in your mind that you need to get to. If you've been feeling stuck in body image work, this is for you. Watch this till the end. I know that it's going to be so insightful and helpful in helping you effectively heal your body image. So I'm going to walk you through this process step by step. The first thing you need to do to heal your body image is to actually bring awareness to your thoughts and press pause on that thought so you can analyze it. So for example, maybe you're really having a horrible negative body image day because you're thinking, oh my gosh, I'm not losing weight. Or maybe you're thinking, oh my God, I'm gaining weight and this is bad. Be aware of that thought and pause on that thought and ask, what is so bad about not losing weight or putting on weight? Get into the deeper beliefs that are happening here, because that's where the bad feeling is really coming from. Gaining weight or not losing weight are facts. They're not feelings. The story that you have attached to that, that's where the negative feeling is coming from. And that is what we want to address. So you want to follow up and ask, well, what is so bad about not losing weight or putting on weight? What does it say about you? And perhaps, I'm just going to give an example here, what comes up for you is, well, if I'm not losing weight or if I'm gaining weight, then that means I'm lazy and I have no willpower and I'm a failure. And so what fear does this bring up for you? Perhaps under all of that is the fear of, well, people are going to judge me. People are going to think that about me. People are not going to accept me. And that is a really scary thought, because as human beings, we are social creatures and we want to belong, we want to be accepted. And so in reality, what is feeling so horrible when you're thinking I'm not losing weight or I'm gaining weight is that you're translating to, I will be judged, I won't be accepted, I am lazy, I have no willpower, I am a failure. That is the core belief that is happening with that negative thought, and that is what's fueling that negativity about yourself. Before we can get to resolving this feeling, take a moment to just explore it. Now that you know what you're actually believing when you have this thought, explore a minute and ask yourself, well, where did this fear come from that I am a failure, I will be judged if I don't lose weight or if I'm gaining weight? Were there past experiences that gave me proof of this? Maybe as a kid you were outright judged and told this to your face. Maybe you saw your mom constantly criticizing her body when she was that size, and so although it was never spoken to you, you would compare your size to hers and realize, hey, I'm kind of like similar body size to my mom, so if she's judging herself, then, you know, are people judging me too, just like she's judging herself? The point is, take a moment to explore and understand understand where it's coming from. Don't judge yourself on it and say, no, I shouldn't be thinking this. I should love my body. Actually, it makes perfect sense that you fear this and you're thinking in this negative way if you have evidence from your life to back it up. And the first step to healing is acknowledging and understanding and validating perhaps that past pain that you had from comments that you were told or the environment you grew up in, and just giving yourself space to understand yourself instead of judging yourself. So once you've taken the time to pause on that thought, understand what you're really scared of, what you're really judging yourself on, what the core belief is, and taking time to explore where does this come from, validating that. Now, when you're ready, we can get to reframing that belief and changing the narrative. So you want to circle back to that core belief, which in this situation was, if I'm not losing weight or gaining weight, then people are going to judge me and not accept me and think that I'm lazy and I have no willpower and I'm a failure. Whew. That is a loaded negative belief that is obviously going to feel horrible. Ask yourself, first of all, is this true? Are you lazy? Do you not have willpower? Are you a failure? If you were to look at other parts of your life and what you do have, does it add up that you don't have willpower or you're lazy or you're a failure? Let me tell you, I'm willing to bet you that you have willpower. There are for sure things in your life that you've accomplished that are absolutely amazing. I mean, I work with clients who have accomplished amazing things in their life and they have such a beautiful life to show for it. But it's always kind of tainted with this feeling of not being enough because body size is the one thing that they just can't get it to where they want it to be, and it clouds all other aspects of their life. And maybe this is happening to you, and this is why it's such a life suck, because you are absolutely so amazing and incredible and so much more than your body size. And I'm betting that you have so much evidence in your life to show that this core belief does not add up in real life. And if you also think about your relationships, are the people who are close to you deciding to hang out with you based on what size you are that day? If you lose weight, they're like, hey, let's go out for coffee today because you've lost weight. Or if you've gained weight, do they say, hey, I'm sorry, like I can't meet up with you this week because your body size is just too big for me? I doubt that your friends and family who care about you as a person are doing that. Or the opposite, this core belief that you're having about your body size, which is negatively tainted right now, does it align with your values? Think about the friends and family that you have and love. Do you decide whether you're going to be friends with someone based on their body size? Do you decide whether to love someone who's close to you based on their body size? I'm willing to bet that you do not. So those are two essential questions to ask once you've taken time to explore and validate, like, hey, is it true? Does it add up in my life? And two, does it align with my values? Now, of course, you need time to process all these. You're watching this in a video, there's a lot to think through, and you're going to be applying this in your life. And it's okay to have different coping mechanisms to lean on to help you process. And remember that you don't have to do this whole process in the moment that you're having a negative body image thought. Like if you are hanging out with friends and you suddenly have this trigger that makes you feel horrible about your body, maybe right now when you're socializing is not the time to start going through this process that you remember watching on YouTube with Rachel to work through in that moment. It might actually distress you further if you're gonna start fighting yourself on like, I have to resolve this negative feeling right now. Instead, give yourself a moment to acknowledge how you're feeling and say, okay, I'm feeling this negative feeling about my body. I will process this later, and kind of package it away, knowing that you're gonna process it at a time that makes sense instead of trying to force yourself to process it on the spot and then get overwhelmed and even more distressed. It might be a better idea to say, hey, I'm acknowledging this feeling, and then later tonight when I journal or when I have a moment to myself, I will come back to this moment and fully process it. So some things that could help you process is journaling, if you enjoy journaling and just writing out your thoughts, maybe talking to a friend that you trust. Maybe taking a hot bath or shower to kind of decompress and put you in a mode to think this through and relax in a calm way. Maybe you need to write to yourself 5 things that you like about yourself that have nothing to do with your body to set you up for a more positive mind space as you process through this. Think about different things, different coping mechanisms, it's not limited to the ones that I shared with you, that will help you process this negative body image thought and come to a reframe that is believable. because you're hitting it at its core root versus slapping a band-aid on it with affirmations when you're not taking time to fully understand why you feel the way you do. Now, once you have the awareness of what the thought is, where it's coming from, why you're having them, why they keep coming up, and you also have clarity that these thoughts are not aligned with your truth, not aligned with your values. Now you're in a place where you're ready to reframe your thoughts in a way that is believable because you've taken time to truly understand yourself and your thoughts and the core root of the issue, which is the belief system that is under all of those thoughts. The goal here in the reframe that I'm about to show you is to bridge the gap between your fear and your truth because the two can coexist. For example, as we've discussed previously with this thought of like, oh my God, I haven't lost weight or I've gained weight, this is so bad. The core belief under that is if I don't lose weight or if I've gained weight, then people are gonna judge me and they're not gonna accept me and they're gonna think I'm a failure. Take a moment to pause and ask, what is your core belief here? Now that you've taken time to truly understand where these beliefs come from, what is your truth, what are your values, what do you believe about yourself when you're looking at the evidence of your life? Since you've taken the time to challenge this core belief at its root and really ask, hey, is this true for me? Does this align with my values? Where the answer is no, you can now create a believable reframe with that. For example, yes, there may be people in the world who will judge you based on your body size. That can exist. You can't control what other people think. And this is where you bridge the gap, and I also know that I have evidence in my life of people who love me and accept me as I am. And those are the people that align with my values and the relationships that I want anyway. The people who would judge you based on body size or make such comments, they don't align with your values anyway. And yes, they do exist because we live in a very diverse world with different belief systems. And a happy life is an aligned life. So you need to be aligned with your truths and your values and seek out the people who align with that. And you have evidence of that in the current relationships that you have right now. So let's recap this process. Instead of having a negative thought of, oh, I gained weight and I feel horrible and I'm just like having the worst body image day ever. Okay, let me reframe that with my body is worthy, my body is good. Again, affirmations have a great place after you understand why you're having this thought to begin with. Instead, when you're having that thought, take a moment to press pause on that thought. Understand why it feels so horrible to you. What is the core belief under there? Understand where did it come from, why you feel that way, acknowledge and validate that, and then follow up with, hey, is this true in the evidence that I have in my life right now? Does it align with my values? Find a time and space where you can actually process this and have coping skills or coping toolbox to help you process this, whether it's talking to a friend or journaling, taking a hot shower, and then you'll be primed in a space of, okay, now that I clearly know what's going on, I can reframe this in a believable way where I'm bridging the gap between my fear and my truth so that I can navigate this life in a way that feels authentic and aligned to me and know that I am good and my body is good. You are much more likely to believe that when you've addressed the belief system behind your thoughts. And of course, remember that this is a process of unlearning and relearning. And like anything new that you're learning, you're creating new neural pathways in your brain. It's gonna take time to start thinking like this more positively about your body naturally and reframing these negative thoughts quicker and quicker. So give yourself the time and space to do that, but keep practicing and it will feel more and more natural, and with time you'll shift into a more positive belief system about your body and therefore feel more positive about your body. I hope that you have found this helpful in your body image healing journey. Let me know in the comments what stuck out to you, what spoke to you, what did you find most helpful, and if you want more support, tips, advice, encouragement on helping you heal your relationship with food and body image, make sure to subscribe so that you get notified when new videos come up to help you do just that. Thank you for being here. I'm honored to support you in this way, and I will see you in the next video.